Welcome back, boys and girls, to Rockstar Journeys, where you're the star of the various journeys upon which we hitherto partake. Your hosts, Deacon Beacon and Jenny G.
Hey.
This week's fantabulous adventure is...
The who?
The what? The what? The where and the when. Yes, the fabulous Who. Another iconic show along with the Stones, and AC/DC recently did one of the big ones. And I'm just really excited to be able to share this one with you. And it was the very first show for you, wasn't it, Jennifer?
Yes, it was. First time seeing the
Band you liked over the years. Tell us a little
I
bit about
loved it
that.
though, and the first time I seen it, first time I've been to the Hollywood Bowl. I mean, growing up, I loved the Who. I had so many girlfriends that just didn't seem to be into the Who, so that was kind of sad. But I've always loved the Who. It was a great time to see them. Just didn't get the chance to see them for whatever reason over the years. So,
And it's such an iconic location too.
yeah.
You feel any kind of magic walking in there?
Felt magical, yeah. And there's a Columbo episode back in the past where Columbo was playing chopsticks on that very stage.
We were making a joke in between bands there. Joe Perry Project and Steven Tyler made a surprise appearance there, which I knew he would when I saw Joe Perry was on the bill there. And they supposedly retired recently, but they love to play, and I knew Steven Tyler was going to jump up there whenever he gets a chance. Got to meet him a couple times, different story. Anyway, yeah, my first time goes all the way back to the 70s. I can't remember exactly when, but it was after Keith Moon, but still had John Entwistle. And I was a little disappointed when John Entwistle died. I was getting ready to see that tour because the first tour date then was out in Vegas, but the very next tour date was going to be at the Hollywood Bowl. And I planned on seeing it, and I expected the guys to cancel at least a few weeks or something, but all they did was take the one night off that John Entwistle died, and then went right on to the Hollywood Bowl the next day. I thought that was a little bit weird. And I do have to admit, I'm sure some people tell me that I never really got to see the Who because I didn't see him with Keith Moon. But I'm telling you, without John Entwistle, you're definitely missing a substantial portion of that band. The show is still great. There was one song in particular where they had Roger Daltrey playing the bass, and I just could only keep thinking about how dynamic it was when John Entwistle was back there. He would just go up and down the frets like he was on fire. I mean, just like Eddie Van Halen on the guitar, basically, except on bass. And he would be talking. I've literally seen him do this before. I've seen the Who about 20 times. I'd see him talking to somebody off stage, one of the stagehands. His fingers would be going a mile a minute while Roger Daltrey was up there twirling the microphone, and Pete Townsend was doing his windmill with his guitar and everything like that. Yeah, did I hit you in the face there? I was trying to, but no. Anyway, one other quick story I'll relate, besides seeing him since the 70s, is it was one time when I was a teenager. I just got my license, so it must have been right around 16. They played in the San Diego Sports Arena, where I grew up, and I used to hang around backstage and everything because I was kind of just trying to figure out what the rock business was all about. I was in my own band back in those days playing bars and all that kind of crap. But anyway, I got to see the guys come out, and it was the first band I'd seen where instead of getting into the same limo or little minibus or whatever that they were always touring, going backstage, and they got in their own separate limos. And not only were they their own separate limos, back then we had mainly the long stretch Cadillacs. They got in their own separate white Rolls-Royce limousines. And it was quite a sight. And I remember running to my car as soon as I saw one of them get into, I wasn't sure which one it was, and I started chasing after the white Rolls Royce in my own Ford Galaxy at the time, was when I had my first car back in those days. And I'm racing down Sports Arena Boulevard, and there's a turn that goes on to Rosecrans there to hit the freeway, or wherever they were going. And I was racing along. We were really, really fast because they had a police escort on a motorcycle. And the light must have turned red. I was looking at the white Rolls Royce next to me, and I was trying to get Pete Townsend. It turned out it was Pete Townsend in that one. I was trying to get his attention because I could see him through the glass, and he couldn't have curled up anymore to try to avoid this. Who was this crazy son of a bitch teenager? And the light had turned red, and so all of a sudden the Rolls Royce stopped in the middle of this major intersection, Sports Arena Boulevard, Rosecrans, and fishtailed a little bit. I was still going, so basically what ended up happening, in the middle of the intersection, we ended up stopping with me practically T-boning right into where Pete Townsend was in the back of this limo. Yeah. I mean, it happened so fast, I thought the car was going to stall, but it was still idling. You could smell the smoke from the tires on the pavement. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, I almost got in a wreck with Pete Townsend. I'm gonna go to jail for sure. And nope, the motorcycle officer pulled around, gave me a dirty look. The white Rolls Royce pulled out, and the motorcycle officer, realizing instead of taking me to jail, his primary responsibility is the white Rolls Royce, took off after them. I was left sitting in the middle of this intersection when the light turned green with cars passing by me going, Jesus Christ, what the hell just happened? So anyway, enjoy these clips of The Who and their farewell tour. The Song Is Over from Hollywood Bowl. And keep remembering that Rockstar Journeys is where you're the star of the various journeys upon which we do hitherto partake. Our next one is going to be a Mediterranean cruise, so hang on tight for that one. Enjoy the clips, folks.
Rain on me and rain on